Hello everyone. Today we are going to present a PPT on waste management system as experiential learning phase 1 of global elective system engineering. This PPT is presented by Swati Soumya, Anshul Sajid, Neet Jain and Shreya Arjun. Waste is a misplaced resource. It's time to rediscover its value and unlock its potential. Waste is a very relevant topic. And the world produces enough waste to fill over 8 lakh Olympic-sized swimming pools each year. It's time that we dive into effective waste management to prevent drowning in in our own waste. The first, uh, the first step is defining the project goal. It is to identify the specific waste management goals and outcomes you want to achieve. Then we determine the boundaries of the project by identifying the types of waste and areas to be covered. Define any constraints or limitations that may impact the project, such as budgetary constraints, legal regulations, or resource availability. Set measurement objectives to track the progress and success of the project. These objectives should be specific, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. That is SMART. Next is conducting a feasible study. The first kind of study that we will conduct is a technical study to evaluate the available waste management technology. Second will be the economic feasibility to check and analyze the cost implications of the waste management project. And lastly, we will be looking into the environmental feasibility to examine the potential environment impact of the project and assess the proposed waste management. Then comes defining project team and roles for waste management. The project manager is an important role who is responsible for overall project planning. Then comes the waste management expert who provides specialized knowledge and expertise. Then we have environmental engineer who assesses the environmental impacts. Lastly, we have stakeholder engagement coordinator who facilitates the communication and collaboration with stakeholders. Lastly, then we have the planning phase. Planning phase consists of these key points, that is to conduct waste assessment and analysis, allocate resources, risk management and mitigation, and define, monitor, and evaluate framework.
Okay, now I'll explain about the infrastructure development. By focusing on infrastructure development, we can pave the way for cleaner, greener, and healthier India. Infrastructure development forms the backbone of any successful waste management system in India, with its vast population and diverse water systems. The need for a well-planned and waste management infrastructure is more evident than ever. This includes the establishment of waste management facilities such as landfills, recycling centers, composting units. By investing in these facilities, we can ensure the proper disposal, recycling, and treatment of waste in an environmentally responsible manner. Now, site selection for waste management facilities is of a paramount importance in India's context. Given the scarcity of land and the need to minimize environmental impact, careful consideration must be given in choosing appropriate locations. Next slide. Okay, now these are the site precautions that require. Now we need to have a proper distance from residential areas, then distance from water bodies, then distance from roads, slope of land. We have to analyze the slope of land also. Now, what is the soil type, how it's going to affect the soil later on in life. And then after that, the presence of groundwater, if it should not corrupt the groundwater present and enrich it with harmful substances that could later on harm ourselves while recycling the water. Then proximity to existing waste disposal sites. That should also be near. Okay, now the design of waste management facilities should prioritize on resources, waste segregation, a sustainable treatment method. India is a country with immense potential for recycling and resource recovery. By integrating, no, previous slide. Yeah, okay. So now by integrating efficient waste segregation processes and promoting the circular and economy, we can reduce waste, conserve valuable resources, and stimulate economic growth. Additionally, the use of advanced treatment technologies can help minimize the environmental impact of waste disposal and ensure the health and safety of our communities. Now, the permits and approvals are required from the following people also: the Municipal Solid Waste Management Board by the Government of India, the Central Pollution Control Board, the urban local bodies that every state has, every city has, then the Ministry of Environment Forestry. Of course, we have to look into the forest also, which our waste disposal may affect. I have given an example. I've taken the example of a research paper here from the landfill site selection using sensitivity index, a case of a city in India, Varanasi. So now coming to that, next slide, please. Okay, now coming to the waste collection part of it. Now, to carry out waste collection effectively, it is crucial to procure the appropriate waste collection vehicles. These vehicles should be designed to handle different types of waste, such as general waste, recyclable waste, or an organic waste. Now, they should also be equipped with features that promote safety, efficiency, and environmental sustainability. By investing in modern, reliable water collection vehicles, we can enhance the overall efficiency and effectiveness of our waste collection efforts. Implementing a well-structured waste collection system is the next step towards achieving our goals. This entails establishing clear protocols and procedures for waste collection, including guidelines for waste separation. Now, collection points and disposing methods also. By standardizing these processes, we can ensure consistency, improve public awareness, and promote responsible waste management practices. A systematic approach will enable us to streamline these operations and enhance the overall effectiveness of our waste collection systems. And also, we have to look into training our waste collection staff and implementing a monitoring and reporting mechanism for a proper system. So that is all about waste collection systems.
So now I'll discuss about the waste segregation and processing. It is crucial to prioritize waste reduction and reuse and recycling to conserve the resources, reduce pollution, and minimize the needs of landfilling. Public awareness, education, effective waste management policies are key to promoting these practices and achieving sustainable waste management system. Moving on to the next slide, we'll see some of the processes that we can use for our segregation process. First is to establish and sorting and segregation process, which will with an effective guideline and processes. This includes determining the categories of waste to be segregated based on local regulation and waste composition analysis. Second is training of staff on waste segregation procedures. Proper training of staff is crucial to ensure the success of waste segregation. The third is to procure and install necessary sorting equipment. Investing in appropriate sorting equipments and infrastructure to facilitate waste segregation. This may include bins, container, color-coded labels, and signage for different waste categories. Now, the fourth point is to implement a quality control measures. Quality control measures help to ensure that the waste segregation is done accurately and efficiently. Regular monitoring and audit of segregation process to identify any issues and deviations. Implementation checks to identify and rectify contaminations or improper sorting. Finally, the last step is to develop partnership with recycling facilities and processing plants. To effectively manage waste, it is essential to establish partnership with recycling facilities and processing plants. Identifying and collaborating with local recycling facility and processing plants that accept the segregated waste streams. Next, we'll move on to the next slide, uh, which is waste treatment and disposal. So, waste treatment and disposal should be selected based on factors such as waste composition, local guidelines, environmental conditions, and public health and safety. The goal is to prioritize waste reduction, recycling, and resource recovery while ensuring that any residual waste is handled in a manner that minimizes harm to the environment and human health. Next slide. We'll see some of the steps that can be taken to do so. The first one is to implement an appropriate treatment method, such as we can make a compose facilities where the waste can be decomposed into nutrient-rich compost through controlled biological processes. Second is to establish hazardous waste management procedures, and this can be developed by specific procedures for the management of harmful waste. This includes proper storing, labeling, and handling techniques to minimize the risk of leaks, spills, or contaminations. The third one is to ensure compliance with environmental regulation. It adheres to local, regional, and national environmental regulation and disposal. The fourth one is to monitor and control waste disposal activities. Implementing monitoring and controlling system to track waste disposal activities and ensure their proper execution. This may involve regular inspections, waste categorization studies, and sampling to access waste compositions. The fifth one is to implement landfill management and closure If landfilling is a part of a waste management strategy, developing and comprehensive landfill management plan can be really helpful. Now I would like Mies to continue with the presentation.
Yes, so moving on to education and outreach, as you know, we have created a system, and it's important that each and every person is aware of how the system works. So education and outreach is really important. It plays a vital role in raising awareness, promoting behavior change, and fostering a sense of responsibility among individuals and communities as they get to know and get to understand how any system works and what is the importance of waste management in this case. Next slide. So, some key aspects of education and outreach and waste management could be, developing public awareness campaigns through social media, through physical banners and posters, or the next point could be conducting educational programs and workshops. We could also promote waste reduction and recycling initiatives, uh, colla- collaborating with schools and community organizations to hold those initiatives and to hold some activities to create awareness amongst students and other community members. We can also monitor and evaluate the effectiveness of educational efforts. Moving on. So to conclude, a proper waste management system helps prevent pollution of air, water, and soil. Waste management systems encourage the recovery and reuse of valuable resources. A proper disposal of hazardous waste ensures the safe handling and containment of substances that can pose significant risks to human health and the environment. By implementing recycling and reuse programs, waste materials are given new life as inputs of manufacturing processes, contributing to a more sustainable and resource efficient economy. So education and outreach programs are integral to waste management system as they raise awareness, promote behavioral change, and instill a sense of responsibility among individuals and communities. So therefore, a well-implemented waste management system ensures a compliance with local, regional, and national regulations governing waste disposal and environmental protection. Thank you.